This is the third episode of the Fermi Bubbles Pokemon podcast. And in this episode, I'm going to be talking about my experience thus far applying to grading, retail sales, and other kinds of trading card jobs. So, first, this is the cover letter that I wrote to Monmouth Cards, a card shop near me. I'm qualified to be a trading card processing specialist because I've collected Pokemon, Yu Gi Oh!, Magic, football, baseball, basketball, and hockey cards for 20 years. I understand how Topps, Upper Deck, and Panini cards have developed, and am familiar with all generations of Pokemon. I am up to date on new collections and knowledgeable of vintage cards. I started selling cards for pennies in middle school. I sell those same cards now for hundreds of dollars, so I learned how prices develop over time. I presently have two e-commerce stores containing 10,000 combined items for sale. I make sales multiple times per week, with turnaround times within 24 hours. I am fascinated by grading. Before sending in hundreds of cards, I graded them myself to compare results. I was fairly accurate, but incorrect on some cards. With training, I will be capable of evaluating card conditions. I will also improve at appraising cards. I am extremely passionate about trading cards and eager to improve in all aspects of the card industry. Then I had some specific questions asked to me. One question was, what is your most prized card? And my answer is, I sold my Mudkip Gold Star Pokemon card from EX Team Rocket Returns for $2,000. I also had a Groudon Gold Star, which was the most expensive card in my collection, but Mudkip was my favorite. They asked me what are my favorite cards to collect, and I said, I get very excited from vintage EX holographic Pokemon cards that are in packs from 2003 to 2007. That was my favorite era of collecting, and they still give me a wave of nostalgia every time I encounter them or go through my collection. My favorite cards are from Sandstorm, Fire Red and Leaf Green, Ruby and Sapphire, Deoxys, and Emerald. They asked me what are some relevant skills I have to join a retail or grading position in the trading card industry, and I respond with, I am skilled at shipping and receiving. I package individual trading cards in envelopes and bubble mailers. I also neatly package grading halls with hundreds of cards such that they are not damaged in transit. Finally, I took in all different sizes and weights of UPS, USPS, and FedEx packages during my work at my previous job. So I understand the qualifications for delivery services to accept packages and transport them safely and effectively. And they asked me what my grading process is, and I said, initially I authenticate the card in question. I have purchased a counterfeit Gold Star Solgaleo that was clearly different than other ones in my collection, so I immediately requested a refund. I've also encountered counterfeit Yu-Gi-Oh cards that were missing the official Yu-Gi-Oh logo on the back. It was more difficult to discover that they were counterfeit because they are Japanese cards. And then I guess I embellished a little bit, but after authentication, I center the card with a ruler on the side. If each side is equidistant, it is perfect centering. If one side is closer into the center, it gets a lower grade. For edges, I see if there are any little scuffs from slipping the card in its plastic sleeve or top loader. Then I see if there is any more significant wear and lower the grade accordingly. For corners, I make sure there is no rounding such that the edges are sharp. For the surface, I inspect any noticeable damages. At the moment, my personal grading process is incomplete, and there's plenty of room for improvement. I grade my own cards and my friends' cards, but not professionally. I grade my cards to determine accurate prices, and I label them as A+, A minus, B+, etc. And I am eager to hone the grading process to consistently deliver accurate results. And I'll conclude episode 3 of the Fermi Bubbles Pokemon podcast with a little artificial intelligence synopsis. Fermi Bubbles Grading is passionate about preserving the magic of Pokemon through the art of card grading, combining years of experience, a love for Pokemon, and cutting edge technology to bring you the finest graded Pokemon cards.